Hi guys, this is Faizan Siddiqui from Cric Nerds and I welcome you all to the T20 World Cup 2022 series. Today is going to be our first video and we are going to be talking about the groups. Talking about Group B now. The Group B has India, Pakistan, South Africa, Bangladesh, Zimbabwe and Netherlands. Alright, so, to be very honest, very fairly easy group compared to the other group that we had. Uh, let's talk about India first. A very balanced squad. I think if there was Ravindra Jadeja in the squad, if Ravindra Jadeja was there, I mean, what would you say? Like they, I nobody else could have made the 11, let alone they could not have made it through. There was no weak spot in the entire 11 if Jadeja was there. But he's not. So let's move past that and know that there's going to be either Akshar or Ashwin playing over there. India have a great top six. You've got Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Surya Kumar Yadav. Top four are sorted. Hardik at 5, DK at 6, Akshar at 7. Works mostly. But you might lose a lot of wickets because you're playing in Australia. So, what are you going to do? Like, do you want to play another batsman and push down Akshar at 8? Or maybe bring in Ashwin because you do not trust Akshar that well? But if you do not trust Akshar, do you trust Hardik to bowl 4 overs? Or maybe you could bring in Deepak Hooda. He could give you a couple of overs here and there. And Hardik could complete his quota of overs, but that would be a very weak fifth bowler. A lot of thoughts that have to go in to Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid's mind. Like, what do they do? How do they replace Ravindra Jadeja with this same composition? Kind of difficult, but India are still one of the most balanced sides in this group. Uh, Pakistan, I personally believe, again, this is just my personal opinion, they might go out there and prove me completely wrong. I believe Pakistan are not going to make it through this group because solely because Pakistan's team has always played like they've built the innings and then they've smashed at the end. Like they're okay having 40 in 6 overs. Australia isn't a place you do that. Australia is not. Australia is not a place where you will. They have good batting pitches, but it's not a place where you will hit boundaries at will. You don't do that in Australia. Australia has huge grounds, and it has something for the bowlers as well. It has that extra bounce for the bowlers. It might come onto the bat. You can trust the bounce. You can go for it, but it has that extra bounce. And Asif Ali is their dependent finisher. Most of Asif Ali's run are in the V. You look at the V. Australia is not a place for the V. Unless the ball is pitched very full, you do not play in the V. The square boundaries are huge, and that's where you generally get to play in Australia. Because you have to make sure that you have those things set. Now, Pakistan have a lot of inning builders. That is an issue. And that is an issue that needs to be addressed. One of Babar Azam and one of or Mohammad Rizwan has to go out berserk from the start. You can have one or two inning builders in your top 7, but others need to go out smashing. Like, does not mean go all guns blazing and do not look at what you have to do. But someone like a Surya Kumar Yadav or what Rohit Sharma has been doing recently. Goes out there, smashes the ball, gets out, no problem, comes back to the pavilion. Something like that. You can have one or two inning builders. You cannot have more than that. Pakistan have loads, and both of their openers are inning builders. Both of their openers play a long innings, and I think this is going to be the chink in their armor. I'll discuss more about Pakistan later and India as well, because obviously India Pakistan coming up. Now let's talk about South Africa. South Africa for me, are the team to beat. They are the team to beat because Even though a lot of players are out of form, and I don't know how Temba Bavuma makes still has his place in the 11, let alone be the captain of that team. I mean, it is hilarious that Temba Bavuma is allowed to play for South Africa even now in T20 cricket. The man does not have a strike rate. I'm not talking about a strike rate above 140. No, he does not have a strike rate. I don't think his strike rate is 120. He is, I mean, if you take Temba Bavuma out, put in Reza Hendricks or anyone else, South Africa would be the team to beat. But that would be a major decision for South Africa to take. But they can take that. You know what they did to AB de Villiers. Check out my first video, you'll know. But yeah, so South. But apart from that, great bowling lineup works in Australian conditions. They've got good leg spinner in Tabrez Shamsi. They've got a good containing spinner in Keshav Maharaj. They have Aidan Markram, very good square of the wicket player. David Miller, very good square of the wicket player. Quinton de Kock, very good square of the wicket player. So when you play good square of the wicket, you do well in Australia. That's the thing. That's why you will see Virat Kohli doing very well in Australia. You would see Rohit Sharma doing well in Australia. Shikhar Dhawan doing well in Australia. Let's talk about people who would struggle. Lakshman doing well in Australia. People who would struggle in Australia. Very V oriented players. Uh, can't think of a lot right now, but because failures don't really remain with you for that long. But you look at, I'll come up with names. I'll come up with names. I can't remember them right now. But yeah, there are players who struggle in Australia because they play a lot in the V. They're V players, not in Test matches, but in T20 cricket, it would really affect you because if you can't play square of the wicket a lot, otherwise you'll have to leave balls and play slowly. Anyways, coming down to the next team, Bangladesh. Bangladesh, do they pose a challenge? It's up to, I mean, you can think about yourself. You talk about Bangladesh, think about Bangladesh, what comes to your mind? Nothing. Almost none of their players play in Australia's Big Bash League. I don't know where these guys are playing. You talk about the players, there's Shakib Al Hassan. That's it. He's the one who's made it that big. I mean, obviously, I know more players, but uh, are they that big that they pose a threat to any of the top three in this group? They don't. They might. They're a very good team. They're very grit oriented team. They're very persistent. They would come at you. They would think that they can beat you anywhere in the world. And that is something lovely about Bangladesh. Even in the 2015 World Cup, the way they played was phenomenal. I loved the way Rubel was involved. They made it to the quarterfinals, which was a big thing for a team like Bangladesh to do at that stage of time, beating England in Australia. So yeah, they've had history in Australia. They've had good history in Australia. So will they be able to cause an upset? Well, nobody knows. Nobody knows about Bangladesh because they they're a different team when it comes to ICC tournaments when they it is a competitive tournament or when they're playing in Bangladesh. Generally, they'll come to India, they'll lose. They'll go to Australia, they'll lose. It doesn't matter. But they go to New Zealand, they'll play a test match. Shakib Al Hasan will go crazy. He'll hit 200. India would go to New Zealand, lose 2-0. Bangladesh will go there and draw a match. Bangladesh will go there and push New Zealand to their limits. They they're a different team, but on paper, when you talk about them, you don't see anything. Somehow they're going to chime up. I haven't seen Bangladesh games in recent times, so I can't comment on how they're playing. But yeah, Bangladesh or Bangladesh. So we'll see. The other two teams that have made it through are Zimbabwe and Netherlands. Zimbabwe have played well. They've bowled really well. They've batted well as well. Uh, but the top three teams and the difference between Zimbabwe is something that I believe is very huge. Alright, Zimbabwe and Bangladesh might be a good encounter to see, to watch, but Yeah, the top three teams, I think they would be too much into competition with themselves because it is pretty much decided the top three teams are going to be the ones that are going to be competing for the top two spots. Now they have Netherlands. Now Netherlands have something that other teams don't have a lot of. That is a lot of players of Netherlands who are playing in the 11 have played their cricket in Australia. Two of them are Maxwell Out and Tom Cooper. Netherlands have to do something about their batting, do something about their captain who's not doing well, batting wise. They have a good bowling lineup, an above average bowling, not above, an average bowling lineup that can compete, that can restrict totals down to 160, 150, 160. Max Out can take them deep, but Vikramjeet Singh and other players, Tom Cooper, the captain, they all have to step up. I think Rudolph van der Merwe is out now because of an injury. But uh, let's see what Netherlands come up with. I don't see any of the teams that have qualified in this group to cause an upset. So yeah, that's about it. That's India, Pakistan. This group is going to be between India, Pakistan, and South Africa only. My picks from this particular group are India and South Africa. But then again, Pakistan and Bangladesh are Pakistan and Bangladesh.